Right now, you are probably using about 10% of what Claude can actually do. And it's simply not because you are bad at prompting, and not because you need some 500-page prompt engineering guide that the gurus have been told you. Because you are missing something most power user you quietly rely on, skills. And once you see what Claude can do with the right skills installed, it's really hard to go back. One of these skills turns Claude into something that behaves more like a senior engineer rather than an AI assistant. Another gives it long-term memory across projects, so you can say goodbye to the AI amnesia. And the other one automatically creates skills for your custom needs by itself. And honestly, my favorite one forces Claude to challenge your decisions before you waste hours building or writing the wrong thing. The craziest part is that most people don't even know these skills exist. Meanwhile, they are re-explaining the same project every single session, burning tokens and getting generic code and fixing mistakes that should have been caught before the first line was written. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 6 Claude skills that changed my workflow the most. 3 are going to make Claude dramatically better at building softwares, applications, websites. Then 2 will make it smarter over time. And the last one completely changes how you make decisions with AI. They are all free, most take only a couple of minutes to install, and by the end of this video, you will have the exact skill stack I use every single day. So let's start with the one that completely changes how Claude builds any software, applications, or websites. First one, and honestly, my favorite, called Superpowers. This isn't a single skill, it's a whole framework of skills built by Jesse Vincent. It has over 200,000 stars on GitHub, so it's not a niche skill. Here's the problem it fixes. Normally, you ask Claude to build something and it just starts typing code immediately, and 45 minutes later you realize it built the wrong thing or built a very generic website every other AI model does. Superpower stops that. The moment you start building, it steps back and interviews you to pull out a proper specification, and then it shows you the design in smaller chunks so you can actually read, you sign off, and only then it does write a detailed plan and start coding. It runs a test-driven development by default. Write a failing test, watch it fail, write a code, and then watch it pass. It reviews its own work between every task, and the wild part, it can run on its own for a couple of hours without drifting off the plan. You can install it through the Claude plugin marketplace with one simple command. You can either ask Claude to install it by itself. If you only take one skill from today's video, you should take this one. Number 2, staying on coding, UI UX Pro Max. If you have ever had Claude build you a landing page and it comes out looking like every other AI site, purple gradient, some generic font family, and soulless, this skill will be fixing that. It's a design brain you bolt on. When you ask for any UI design, it first generates a full design system for your specific industry. The layout pattern, the color palette, the font pairing, the effects, and a list of anti-patterns to avoid. So, for example, a banking app and a wellness spa website get genuinely different designs because it has got 161 industry-specific rule sets behind it, 67 UI styles, 50 plus font pairings, and all matched to what you are building. You just say build a dashboard, for example, for healthcare analytics, and it does the design thinking before it writes a line of code. And one heads up, it needs Python installed on your computer, and it's a bigger setup than the others. So do that in a few minutes by asking Claude, and you can install it through the Claude plugin marketplace. Just ask Claude Code. For anyone shipping client work, this is the one that makes the output look paid for. The third coding skill is called frontend-design. This is Anthropic's own skill, and it actually ships Claude. It actually ships with Claude already. And here's how it's different from the last one. The UI UX Pro Max is a big database that picks an existing design system for your specific industry, but front-end design is more about taste, and making things distinctive. It pushes Claude to commit to a bold direction instead of playing it safe and execute it properly. It bans the boring default, no inter font, no Arial font, no purple on white gradients from Tailwind. It pushes proper typography, real motions, layouts that break the grid a little bit, and backgrounds with actual depth instead of just a simple flat color. And the honest take of mine is to use front-end design when you want something that looks designed and memorable, and go for the Pro Max scale when you want a complete and consistent system across a whole website or an application. Now let's switch to the two skills that take you a higher level when it comes to AI. The number 4 is skill creator. This is the meta one. It's a skill that builds another skill. And here's when it clicks. Once you notice you are typing the same long instructions to Claude all over again every single day, asking for the same formatting rules, telling the same processes and the same context, that should be a signal. And instead of repeating yourself forever, every single day, you turn it into a skill once, and Claude just knows it from then on. Skill Creator walks you through the whole thing. It will ask you what you want the skill to do and when it should be triggering, drafts the file, and help you test it with real prompts and rewrite it based on what worked and what didn't. It even tunes the description so the skill actually fires at the right moment, which is the part most people get wrong. And this is the jump from being someone who downloads other people's skills to someone who builds their own toolkit for your specific needs. It's and also an Anthropic skill, so it's purely official. If you run Claude every day, this is how you stop doing the same setup work twice. The presentation slide you can see here is built with my own Claude skill because I wanted to use the same presentation design in my videos from now on. So I built one presentation slide design. Then I asked Claude to build a skill around it. So every time when I will have my video structure, I will just send a message to Claude. I will have the recording ready, presentation slides on my MacBook saved in the specific folder. The number 5 is claude-mem, the big limitation everyone hits when each session starts from completely zero. You explain your project, you make some progress, and then you close it, and tomorrow it's forgotten everything. And claude-mem is the solution that fixes the forgetting. It quietly records what happens in each session, compresses it down with AI. I won't explain the different technologies behind it, and then feeds the relevant bits back into your next session automatically. And so Claude actually remembers your project, your decision you made, the bugs you already fixed, and how things are wired up in your workspace. It's got proper search too, so you can ask, for example, what did we decide about the authentication here, and it pulls it from your history. And there's even a local web viewer where you can see the whole memory stream that claude-mem built about you. And last but not least, and it's different from the rest, called Grill Me by Matt Pocock. This isn't about writing code, it's about the thinking process behind writing code, for example. And the idea is before you build anything, you get the agent to interview you hard. It asks you questions after questions about your plan, one at a time, walking through every branch of the decision until there's nothing fuzzy left. And here's the smart part. For every question, it gives you its own recommended answer, so you are not staring at a blank prompt, staying there undecisive. You are just reacting and refining. It even checks your existing files first, so it only asks what it genuinely can't work out itself. And here's why it's super important, because most bad output isn't the AI being dumb, it's you and the AI not actually agreeing on what you wanted. And Greeley tracks that disagreement into the open before a single line gets written. I use this for any real decision, a feature, a launch plan, a piece of strategy for client work. You just say, agree me on this, and it will dig into this. It's the cheapest way to avoid building the completely wrong thing. Awesome. So those were the 6 skills that completely changed my entire workflow in the last few months. And so we'll do the same for you. 3 for coding, 2 that will make Claude smarter over time, and one for thinking before you build anything. Every link is in the description. You will find them. They are all free. So go and grab them, give them a shot, and please write me in a comment what was your experience, what was your favorite, or if you're using any different skill with your Claude, let me know and I will give it a shot. If this video saved you some time, hit the subscribe button. I would highly appreciate it. I put out one of these guides every week, plus a build video where I take tools exactly like these and make something real from scratch. And so with that said, see you in the next one.